There was a time in Arav's life when silence felt louder than noise. Every morning he woke up before the alarm, not because he was disciplined, but because his thoughts wouldn't let him sleep. His mind raced with questions that had no answers. Why am I like this? Why does nothing work for me? Why do I feel stuck while everyone else is moving forward? From the outside, Arav looked normal. He was 24, had a basic degree, and lived in a small rented room near the city's industrial area. But inside, he felt broken. Not loudly broken, quietly, painfully broken. He wasn't poor by society's definition, but he felt bankrupt in confidence. He wasn't uneducated, but he felt ignorant of his own worth. He wasn't alone, yet loneliness followed him like a shadow. And the worst part, he believed his mind was his enemy, a mind that attacks its own owner. Arav's mind never rested. When he tried to dream, it reminded him of failure. When he tried to act, it whispered fear. When he tried to hope, it showed him statistics, comparisons, and worst-case scenarios. You're not smart enough. You started too late. Others are better than you. Why even try? These thoughts didn't shout. They spoke softly, so softly that Arav believed they were facts. Every rejection letter, every ignored job application, every comparison on social media felt like proof that his mind was right. Slowly, Arav stopped trying. He stopped applying for better opportunities. He stopped sharing ideas. He stopped believing improvement was possible. He told himself he was being realistic, but in truth, he was being defeated by his own thoughts. The day everything collapsed, one evening, after another long shift at the warehouse, Arav sat alone on the stairs outside his building. His phone buzzed with a message from an old college friend. Got promoted today. Life's finally moving. Got. Arav stared at the screen. He wanted to feel happy for his friend, but all he felt was emptiness, and then anger. Not at his friend, but at himself. That night, something inside him collapsed. He didn't cry loudly. He didn't scream. He just sat on his bed in darkness and whispered, "I'm tired of losing, not losing to people, losing to his own mind." An unexpected encounter. A few days later, Arav visited a small public library near the bus stop. He didn't go there often. That day he went only to escape his thoughts. As he scanned the shelves, an old man sitting near the window looked at him and smiled. "You look like someone fighting a war," the man said. Arav was surprised. "I'm fine," he replied automatically. The old man chuckled. That's what soldiers say before admitting they're wounded. There was something calm about him. His voice wasn't forceful, yet it carried weight. They talked, slowly at first, then honestly. Arav didn't plan to open up, but words came out about fear, self-doubt, wasted time, and the feeling of being trapped. The old man listened carefully. Then he said something that would change everything. "Your problem is not your situation, it's the weapon you're using against it." Arav frowned. "What do you mean?" The man tapped his temple gently. "Your mind. You've turned your greatest weapon into your greatest enemy." Understanding the real battlefield. The old man explained something Arav had never considered. "Life doesn't defeat people first," he said. "The mind does. Situations come later." He told Arav that the mind is like fire. Used correctly, it can warm you, guide you, and protect you. Used carelessly, it burns everything, including the one who controls it. "Right now," the man continued, "your mind is trained to attack you, not because you're weak, but because you never taught it otherwise." That sentence hit Arav deeply. No one had ever told him that his thoughts could be trained. The first lesson, awareness. The old man gave Arav a simple task. For 1 week, he said, "Don't change anything, just listen to your thoughts, write them down." Arav tried it. What he discovered shocked him. His mind was cruel. Every mistake became an insult. Every delay became a disaster. Every comparison became a judgment. He realized he wouldn't talk to another human being the way he talked to himself. That awareness was painful, but powerful. The second lesson, question the voice. The next week, the old man said, "Now question your thoughts." When his mind said, "You'll fail," he asked, "Based on what?" When it said, "You're not capable," he asked, "According to whom?" Most thoughts had no evidence, only repetition. Arav began to see that his mind wasn't telling the truth. It was repeating old fears. The third lesson, feed the mind differently. The old man explained that the mind consumes information the way the body consumes food. "You've been feeding it fear, comparison, and regret," he said. "What do you expect it to produce?" Arav began reading instead of scrolling endlessly. He listened to educational talks during commutes. He limited conversations that drained him. Slowly, his thinking began to shift. Not dramatically, not magically, but steadily. The turning point. One day, Arav applied for a role he would have never considered before. His hands shook while submitting the application. His mind screamed, "You're not ready." But another voice, quieter, stronger, responded, "Maybe, but I'm willing to try." He didn't get the job, but something strange happened. He didn't collapse. For the first time, rejection didn't define him. It became information, not identity. That's when Arav understood something crucial. Winning doesn't always look like success. Sometimes, winning looks like resilience. Training the weapon daily. Months passed. Arav didn't become rich overnight.
He didn't become famous. His life didn't turn into a movie, but his inner world transformed. He learned to pause before reacting. He learned to redirect negative thoughts. He learned that discipline starts in the mind, not the calendar. When fear appeared, he didn't run. When doubt spoke, he didn't obey blindly. He trained his mind like a warrior trains a weapon, with patience, repetition, and respect. The moment of real victory. 1 year later, Arav stood in front of a group of young interns at his new workplace. He wasn't the most senior person there, but he was asked to speak. As he looked at their faces, he remembered his old self. He said, "The world didn't change for me. I changed the way I faced it, and it started here." He pointed to his head. "Your mind is your greatest weapon, but only if you learn how to use it." The truth, most people never learn. Arav learned that motivation fades, but mindset stays. Confidence isn't loud, it's trained. Strength isn't born, it's built mentally first. Life still tested him, but now, he was armed, not with arrogance, not with false positivity, but with awareness, discipline, and belief. Final message: if you feel stuck, lost, or defeated, remember this: your mind can be your prison, or it can be your power. The difference is not talent, not luck, not timing. The difference is training, because in the end,
Most people grow up believing a lie, so common that it feels like truth. They believe that life will someday become easy. Easy after success, easy after money, easy after respect, easy after one big win. Arman believed this too. From childhood, he was taught the same lessons everyone else was. Study hard now, struggle a little, and one day life will reward you. Be patient, your time will come. Once you make it, you can finally rest. So Arman waited. He waited through sleepless nights, telling himself, "This is temporary." He waited through failures, whispering, "It will be worth it." He waited through loneliness, promising himself, "One day I'll be happy." Years passed. Arman did everything right, at least according to the rules he was given. He worked harder than most. He stayed disciplined. He sacrificed comfort. He avoided shortcuts. And eventually, he succeeded. A better job, more money, respect from people who once ignored him. From the outside, it looked like he had arrived, but inside, something was wrong. The happiness he expected never fully showed up. The peace he imagined stayed distant. The easy life everyone promised didn't exist. Yes, his problems had changed, but they hadn't disappeared. Deadlines replaced hunger. Pressure replaced uncertainty. Expectations replaced dreams. One night, sitting alone in his apartment, Arman felt a strange emptiness. He had climbed the mountain everyone talked about, yet the view felt hollow. That's when the first crack appeared in the lie he had believed his whole life. Maybe life wasn't designed to become easy. Maybe that was never the reward. Part 2. The truth that changes everything. The truth most people never learn is simple, but uncomfortable. Life doesn't get easier. You get stronger. And strength doesn't come from comfort. It comes from facing reality without illusions. Arman began to notice something. The people he admired most weren't the ones with problem-free lives. They were the ones who had learned how to carry weight without breaking. They didn't wait for motivation. They acted without it. They didn't chase happiness. They built meaning. They didn't expect life to be fair. They expected themselves to be resilient. That's when Arman understood the second truth. No one is coming to save you. Not luck, not timing, not someday. This wasn't a cruel realization. It was a freeing one. Because if no one was coming, then his life was truly his. His pain wasn't punishment. It was training. His failures weren't signs to quit. They were lessons in disguise. He stopped asking, "When will life reward me?" and started asking, "Who am I becoming through this?" Something shifted. Work became a craft, not a race. Struggles became feedback, not proof of weakness. Loneliness became space for growth, not a curse. Arman didn't become fearless. He became honest. Honest about effort. Honest about discipline. Honest about the fact that progress is slow and invisible most days. And that was the final truth. Most people quit not because they fail, but because they don't see results fast enough. Life doesn't clap for quiet consistency. It doesn't announce your growth. It lets you wonder if anything is working, until one day you realize you are no longer the same person. That's the truth most people never learn. Not everyone will understand your journey. Not everyone will see your struggle, but the strength you build in silence will carry you longer than applause ever could. And once you accept that, you stop waiting for life to change and start changing yourself.